Welcome to ECNTRADE Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. Well, the Australian dollar continues to remain somewhat negative, with the focus still remaining on 75.70 with the 60-day moving average underneath at 75.50. If these two levels are taken out, then that would expose the region of 74.45 to 65. In view of the technical aspect, I feel the market will remain to a bearish sentiment, and also the fact is with the dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of six major currencies, posted a fresh 3-month high of 91.62 and still on track for its measured move for another 100 points, could put further pressure. And looking at the euro, which is weighted at 57.6 to the US dollar, you can see here that the market has clearly now crushed the level of 119.90 to 120.10. With the trend relatively firm, you can see that further risk is to the downside and looking at 119.30 or maybe to around 118.5, due to the fact that the dollar index, as I mentioned, has broken the neckline of an inverse head and shoulders, and therefore gives the measured move towards the region, as I stated, to around 92.65, which is, for the flip side of the euro, should at least reach 119.30. The dollar yen is surging higher and getting closer now to its objective of 106. With the trend strong from the ADX, a little bit of caution due to the fact the RSI is relatively overbought, and I feel that as we get closer, which is only about 55 points away, could see a sharp downturn from 106 and look back towards the region of 104.5. So do be on your guard and continue to adjust your stop loss and take profits according to your risk management, just in case we do get that sharp downturn. Tonight is the main event, which is the non-farm payrolls, and the market will be watching very closely on that number, and if so, the dollar index should increase on the back of that as well from the numbers. The pound very whipsawed overnight after the Bank of England's statement came through somewhat hawkish, as the market was expecting a slightly dovish tone when it comes to looking at possible negative interest rates in the UK. Nevertheless, the whipsaw price action not quite getting the technical turnaround, so I still feel that the bears are still looming and therefore could see a down test back to 135. This in turn should see sterling yen reverse its current course and look back towards the downside to 143 and reassess from there. Gold took out the level of 1,820, and from that has now exposed the region of 1,765, with the immediate target seen around 1,780. Although the technicals are oversold, the trend is still somewhat strong, so I still feel, as the dollar does strengthen, should put pressure on gold. And wrapping up with the weeklies for oil, you can see the market is pushing further towards that 59.5 target. But we are extremely, in terms of overbought, and the trend is overheating on the weekly bias and extremely overbought on the daily time frame. So I feel the market will eventually see some profit taking as we get closer towards $57, $58, $59 a barrel. That wraps it for today and for the week. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, look out for the intraday report. I hope you enjoy the great start to the weekend.